What's up guys? In this video we're going to take you through the process of taking care of your leather footwear, more specifically waxed leather footwear. So we're talking about waxed suede, waxed roughout, waxed flesh, all those kinds of leathers that are similar to a suede. They have that matte look, but at the same time they are kind of crossing over into having that shiny look, that greasy look, because that's what they are greased, they are waxed. It's a very specific kind of leather that requires its own specific type of care products and instructions. So let's get to it. So first, let us start off with a warning, and that's that you shouldn't use regular leather creams or shoe care products meant for smooth leathers on this type of leather. This type of leather, these waxed roughouts, waxed suede, they require a specific kind of wax, which we'll get to. So first things first, we're going to take out the laces so that we can brush and clean the shoe. Okay, so for the cleaning part of this type of shoe, it's really easy. We're not going to use any kind of saddle soap or anything like that. No suede shampoos, it's not necessary. We're just gonna brush it. Get the dust out of the nap of the leather, out of the creases on the welt, and that'll be fine. That's all you need. We might apply a little bit of saddle soap to the side of the soles here, clean up that leather, but the waxed leather, brushing is all that it takes. Okay, so I'm gonna take this horsehair brush. It's a medium coarse brush and just brush off the entire shoe. Okay, so you can apply a little bit of pressure. You don't have to be careful. This is a very rugged leather. It can take it, but we really want to get all that dust and dirt that has collected on the surface and in the crevices and creases. You want to brush that out. Right, don't forget to pull away the quarters of the shoe so you can really get to the tongue of the shoe. It's important that we take care of all the parts. For brushing the welt, because this is a place that collects a lot of dust, I'm going to use an even coarser brush. This one has this angle, making it very easy to get inside the folds. So if your waxed leather shoe isn't just dusty but has a specific spot of dirt that won't brush off, what you could use is a suede eraser. There are different kinds. I really like this one. It's kind of like a sponge, and it has this crepe side. And what that will do, it will just rub off those sticky, greasy parts on top of the nap of the leather. Okay, so for this part, you take a damp rag and you just rub the soap until you get a slight lather. Then we're going to be applying that to the welt and the side of the sole, those smooth leather parts. Okay, so now that we have cleaned the shoe, we're already moving on to the next part, which is applying wax to the upper. Now, there are a couple of different options. Like for example, a hard wax. Like I've got this green lamp wax here. What you would do with this is take a hairdryer or a heat gun, apply heat to it so the wax becomes a little bit more soft, rub it into the shoe, then apply heat to the shoe to get that wax to set into the leather, and that'll work. Honestly, personally, I find this is a lot of work. It's a little bit cumbersome and a little bit of a hassle. So I do a different technique. So instead of those hard waxes, what I would recommend is using an old-fashioned dubbin wax, a leather grease. This one, for instance, main ingredient is beeswax. It's very simple, very greasy wax. It'll be much easier to apply to the leather. It will have the same effect and it will look really greasy and cool. So whereas with a smooth leather and a regular shoe cream, I would use a cotton cloth or an application brush. For this, I personally find it most easy to just use my fingers and rub it into the leather. Okay, so I'm gonna rub the wax. It seems hard at first, but it becomes very soft. Get a nice lather onto my finger. And with this, it's really good to point out, different from other kinds of products like saddle soap or regular shoe creams, it's not less is more, more is more. You can go wrong, you can go overboard. There's nothing as too much of Dublin wax on this kind of leather. It's a waxed leather, so it can take it. I'm just gonna rub that in, try and get it everywhere. You're gonna see the shoe will start to look darker because it's greasy. And you can maintain that look, but if you prefer the original look and the color, just know if you brush this with a coarse brush, it's gonna push those waxes way deeper inside and the original color will resurface. Personally, I think it looks cool, a little bit darker and really greasy. So this isn't hard work, but it's a lot of work compared to using regular cream on a smooth leather, just because you'll see the leather will take that wax really heavily. So you gotta reapply a lot of times, but that's okay. So now we have to let this sit for a while, give it 10-15 minutes for the wax to really penetrate the leather. Meanwhile, we're gonna apply a cream to the welt, the top of the welt and the side of the sole, the leather parts, because that leather needs some nourishing. So for the smooth leather parts, the welt in this case, you could actually use the same kind of Dublin wax, that would work perfectly. But I'm going to use a colorless shoe cream instead. Okay, so this is set. What we're gonna do now is buff the shoe, brush it. We're gonna take, again, a horsehair brush. This is the same kind of brush I used early on, but it's a different brush. You don't want to use a dirty brush at this stage of the cleaning process. Okay, and we're just gonna softly start brushing the shoe, letting that wax penetrate even deeper into the leather. All right, we're also going to be brushing the top of the welt, the side of the sole, to buff up the cream that we applied there. Okay, so I think this is starting to look really good. I'm gonna buff it a little bit more using this fluffy glove. You could also use like an old kitchen towel for this, something that's a little bit more coarse, a little bit more rough, in order to bring out that shine. Okay, so I think this is looking swell. The last thing I'm gonna do is apply a weatherproofing spray. Wax leather in and of itself is very resistant to the elements, to moisture, rain, water, yet it can never hurt to give it an extra layer of protection. The trick is to spray it evenly across the surface. Apply a little bit to the welt and the sides of the soles. And there we go. We're gonna let this sit for a while, maybe brush it off a final time, and we're good to go. Okay, so this has dried up. We're gonna pass one more time with the brush, very slightly, and we're good to put the laces back in. And there you go, that's how you take care of a pair of waxed leather boots or shoes. If you like this video, just know if you need help with any other kind of leather care, smooth leathers, regular suedes, we have videos for those as well. You can find everything on our website, lannerton.com. All right, take care guys.